Good morning everyone. Welcome back to Study with Vaishnavi Jha. In today's class, we will see sexual reproduction in plants. As in earlier classes, we are done with sexual reproduction in humans, reproductive health, contraceptive methods, sexually transmitted disease, everything is done. So now coming to next and the last part of the chapter, which is sexual reproduction in plants. So let's start. Okay, so here is a diagram. You can see here is a diagram. I'll explain this diagram, but before that we will see some terms that are very much important when we start sexual reproduction in plants. Okay, so the first thing is, what is the reproductive part of the plant? I have already discussed it in vegetative propagation. What is the reproductive part of the plant? That part is flower. Reproductive part of the plant is flower. Okay, so the flower, basically the flower can be classified into two categories. First is unisexual flower, and another category is bisexual flower. What is so special about unisexual flower and what is so special about bisexual flower is the presence of the reproductive part in them. Okay, see how. Uni means one. Means if the plant has only one reproductive part, either male or female, that is known as what? Unisexual flower. And if the plant has both, bi means two, so both male and female reproductive parts, then it is bisexual flower. Okay, so let us write it. Single reproductive part, male or female, and इसमें both reproductive parts, male and female. Okay, so example for this is China rose, the best example. Bisexual flower, China rose, mustard. For unisexual flower, the example can be watermelon, papaya, etc. Okay, so these are the categories in which flower can be divided on the basis of the reproductive part present in them. If it is male reproductive part or female reproductive part only, then it is known as unisexual flower. And if it has both male and female reproductive part in the same flower, then it is known as what? It is known as bisexual flower. So here there is a diagram, and that diagram refers to bisexual flower. It is a diagram of bisexual flower. Why I drew it? The reason is that I want to explain the male reproductive part as I did in humans and the female reproductive part. For that, instead of drawing two different flowers, we are just drawing a single flower in which both the parts are present. If there is a probability, or if there is any chance by which we can draw both in a single diagram, then why not two of that, right? So here is the diagram of bisexual flower. Now, as far as this bisexual flower is concerned, what are the male parts and what are the female parts in them? So for that, the labeling is very important. This diagram has been given in your book also. This diagram is very important from exam point of view also. So see, the male reproductive part The first male reproductive part is anther. The first reproductive part is male reproductive. The first part of male reproductive part is anther. Okay. I marked the wrong part. Sorry. This is anther. This is anther. And the other part is this stem. I can shade this stem so that it will be much more clear to you. As you can see, this is filament. Anther and filament. These two parts are combinedly forming the male reproductive parts. जैसे ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में क्या था, मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में इट वाज वास डिफरेंस, यूरेथ्रा, पेनिस, टेस्टिस, स्क्रोटम, all of this combine and form what? Male reproductive system. Similarly, in flower, anther and filament, they combine to form what? Male reproductive system. That's it. इतना छोटा सा ही होता है इसका रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. नेक्स्ट, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. सो फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम इज दिस सेंट्रल वन. ये जो आप देख रहे हैं मटका सा जो है ये, दिस इज फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. सो दिस इज स्टिग्मा. This neck portion is style. And this swollen part is called as ovary. This swollen part is called as ovary. So female reproductive system is divided into three parts. First, the platform like structure, that is stigma. Second, the neck like structure, style. And third, the swollen part. That swollen part is what it is? Ovary. Okay. So these are the female parts. This is the male parts. As you know, the other parts is like very much familiar you are with. Petals, okay, and this is sepals. Okay. The male reproductive system is combinedly called as stamen. The female reproductive system is combinedly called as pistil. Pistil, Pistil. Okay. Now, this is a full-fledged diagram of a bisexual flower. Okay. So I think, okay, one more thing to tell you. Humans में क्या होता था? What used to happen in humans? There was a male gamete. There was a female gamete. Fusion took place. Zygote formed. Zygote से बड़ा embryo. Embryo से बड़ा fetus. And then after it coming out from the womb of the mother, it is a baby, right? This was the procedure. So the initially there were two cells, male gamete, female gamete. What is the name of male gametes present in humans? It is sperm. What is the name of female gamete present in humans? It is ovary. What is the male gamete present in plants? क्या नाम है मेल गैमेट का जो प्लांट्स में प्रेजेंट होता है? It is pollen grains. So what happens on this stigma? If I draw this stigma, like if I draw this stamen, zoom the picture here. So it is like this filament. This is the anther, and it has many yellow circular structure, mostly spherical structure, you can say, dot like very small structures, pollen grains. And these pollen grains are what? Male gametes of the plants. Very important it is. Very important. Very, very important. Sometimes it is asked in exam to write the male and female gametes of plants and humans. So female gamete is quite easy because it is egg in both the cases, in plants also and in animals also. But the problem arises when they ask you to write the male gamete for plants and animals. So for plants it is pollen grains. Okay. So pollen grains. And what is the name of female gamete? It is present here in the ovary. As you can see, there are some number of eggs. So these are here egg. इनमें से कोई एक ही egg होता है जिसके साथ fusion होता है. I don't remember the exact egg, but I can see approximately this. So these are the eggs, and eggs are the female gametes. Eggs are what? The female gametes. So this is now a full-fledged diagram of the bisexual flower. It is a very easy diagram. You can draw it like roughly, like very nice diagram you can draw. Nothing very much special you have to draw. But tough लगता है diagram, पता नहीं क्यों सबको. Because of maybe this ovary part, but it is nothing. It is very easy. So take a screenshot of it, and then we will move to what? Then we will move to the procedure. Okay, the pollination process and everything. So take a screenshot of it. Okay. So now I'm going to explain the procedure. Okay, recently in the last diagram, I marked this circle as the female reproductive cell. But you correct it because this is not the female reproductive cell. This one, the center one, is the female main egg cell with which the fusion takes place. Okay. These are the podal and antipodal cells, but you leave it. You just mark the center point, which is female gamete eggs. Okay. So correct it. Now see, this is male part. You can call it stamen. And this is what? Pistil. Now see what happens. There is a term called pollination. You have been studying this pollination since class 8th, if I am not wrong. So this pollination is what? It is transfer of male gametes to female part of the flower. Correct? Now this pollination can be categorized into two parts. It may be self-pollination or it may be cross-pollination. And how this pollination takes place? So there are some agents. There are some agents who help in transferring the pollen grains from male part to the female part. मेल से फीमेल तक पहुंचने के लिए क्या करते हैं? मेल से फीमेल तक पहुंचने के लिए this there is some agent, कुछ agent present होता है, and that agent supplies the male gamete from here to here. What can be those agents? It can be wind, it can be water, it can be insects, flies, etc. Animals. So these are certain agents which help in transferring of the transfer of this pollen grain from male gamete to female, from male part to female part, right? Now what is this self pollination and what is this cross pollination? See, if the male gamete, see, I am making male like this, okay, right here, male, female, ऐसा ही कुछ सिंबल होता है, okay. So if the male gamete, या आप एक काम कीजिए, आपको इससे भी इजी सिंबल में बता देती हूँ, छोड़ो, this is male and this is female, खत्म. So see, if male gamete transfers to the female gamete of same flower, एक ही फ्लावर है, उसी में ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, that is self pollination. And if it happens in different flower, it is called as cross pollination. पढ़ चुके हैं आप ये चीज already, it's a very common information. Okay, so now see what happens. Procedure मैं आपको लिखवाऊंगी for sure, but मैं अभी procedure समझा रही हूँ सिर्फ. So this male gamete, it gets transferred to the female gamete. Bisexual flower है तो same में भी हो सकता है, यहाँ पहुँच गया. Now this pollen grain will form a pollen tube to reach to the female gamete. रास्ता तो बनाएगा पहले, तभी तो पहुँचेगा. So this is how the road to female gamete is created, like this. And now this male gamete, it transfers into this pollen tube, and here it fuses with this egg. फ्यूजन हो गया. फ्यूजन होके क्या बन जाता है? जाइगोट बन जाता है. जाइगोट से क्या बनता है? एम्ब्रियो बनता है. एम्ब्रियो से क्या बनता है? सीड बनता है. सीड से एक नया प्लांट बन जाता है. So this is how the procedure takes place. Okay, so you take a screenshot of it. वैसे इसकी इतनी screenshot की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. I'll explain this process with the help of flow chart. मैं एक flow chart भी आपको करवाऊंगी, जिससे आपको ये पूरा प्रोसीजर जो है कहाँ से कहाँ क्या क्या ट्रांसफर होता है वो आपको पता चल जाएगा. But that we'll do in next class. Okay, so you take a screenshot of it, and rest part of the sexual reproduction in plants will be covered in the next video. So till then, take care. Bye bye.